Hey everybody, Kelly Engineer here, and welcome to episode 6 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, thanks to the advice of Robert Paul, I condensed my furnace and pulvis setup. Robert Paul brought it to my attention something so incredibly obvious that I kind of feel like a fool for not realizing it. When I built these I/O upgrades, which Tooltip says enables automation, what I assumed was that it just allowed me to change where the input and output of the furnace and the pulvis went. So with a regular Minecraft furnace, the input is the top, the fuel goes in the back, and the output is on the bottom, so on and so forth. And I just assumed that the I/O upgrade only made it so that I can configure where my input, output, and fuel went. It didn't dawn on me that I can use my furnace and pulvis exactly like an Ender I/O machine. And yeah, like I said, so obvious in retrospect. So thank you, Robert Paul, for fixing me. Also, numerous people brought up the fact that I don't need anything that's blast resistant. I don't need a blast resistant block like Lionsdale. I can just throw TNT and the iron into water, blow it up, and boom, there's my compressed iron. So long as TNT is in water, it won't break the blocks. I could also chunk load this area, and by default, the area is chunk loaded, so it's kind of weird. I didn't do this. I joined the game, and this area was already claimed. But I could chunk load this area, and griefing would stop. No explosions could happen, but I would still get the compressed iron. And so those are two alternatives to... Seriously, get out of here. There we go. So yeah, those are two alternatives to getting my compressed iron, and that's actually one of the things I'm going to do in this episode. And hold on, let me eat my meat sandwich. So I threw in some dust into a string sieve so I could get gunpowder. It's the only way that I can get gunpowder right now. And spoilers, we're going to the hunting dimension this episode. But yeah, using the gunpowder and this sand, I'm going to make a couple TNT, and I'm going to get my compressed iron so I can actually start working on my AE2. I also obtained enough Erodium to upgrade my second solar panel to Tier 2. So I have 2 Tier 2 solar panels, and I have 2 Tier 2 void ore miners. And they've been working a treat for me. I have more than enough Chironite right now to at least upgrade one of the solar panels. Actually, hang on. Yeah, I have about one more. Yeah, so not enough Chironite yet to upgrade to the Tier 3 solar panel. But even then, I don't need the Tier 3 solar panel right now. I'm generating more than enough power going in here for my void ore miner to be powered, and I'm eventually going to have an entire fleet of these solar cells running. I also used flux ducts to upgrade my pulvis and furnace setup. What is going on with my computer? Huh. She's being a lot louder than she normally is. But anyway, yeah, I used these flux ducts for my furnace and pulvis setup, and yeah, the power is going much more efficiently than it was using the cyclic. I've noticed, basically what I've learned with all of the cyclic pipes is for small setups like this, they work just fine, but for large setups, like I had before, they have trouble keeping up or figuring out where they need to go. They're not very configurable on the extract end, and they're only configurable on the input end. I'm sorry, reverse that. They're configurable on extract, they're not configurable on the input side. But yeah, so I'm very happy with the flux ducts. But now I'm actually going to get into my TNT and make some compressed iron. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this TNT here, and I'm going to place a redstone torch here eventually. I'm going to try out with at least half a stack of iron ingots and just see how that does for me. And because this is going to look really weird because I'm using slabs, so it's going to look like it's clipping a little bit. There we go. But it's going to be perfectly fine. 26 compressed iron. So I have about a 20% loss for my iron. And whatever, that's more than enough. I'm going to continue doing this until I have about 2 stacks of compressed iron to get me started. Because I need crystal growth accelerators and the AE2 stuff inscribers as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep at this. So because of the recipe changes in this pack, in order to make the crystal growth chamber, which is what I want to make, I'm going to need 6 crystal growth accelerators. But the crystal growth accelerators are made with Fluix blocks, which is a changed recipe. The Fluix blocks mean that I'm going to have to do something I was not prepared to do, which is throw pure Fluix crystal into a barrel of lava, and bam, I'll get my Fluix block. But unfortunately, pure Fluix crystal you normally get from throwing seeds into a crystal growth accelerator. Well, a new recipe has been added. I can throw a Fluix crystal and wait 20 minutes and onto a drying rack, and then bam, I'll get a pure Fluix crystal. And yeah, what are the pure Fluix crystals even used for, other than making the Fluix block? Yeah, everything else should be pretty standard, right? Yeah, everything looks pretty standard. But yeah, this Fluix block is the thing that I need to... Hold on a tick. So one Fluix crystal on a drying rack will get me one pure Fluix. One pure Fluix will give me the Fluix block, and I can turn that Fluix block into 4. I have infinite Fluix crystals. Oh, that's awesome. I could also use the seed extractor as well, but I'm going to wait until I can fly, until I start getting into mystical agriculture, because yeah, I don't want my mystical agriculture anywhere near this base. There's no pocket void dimension in this pack, so yeah, I'm going to have to keep that in mind. Yeah, I'm going to go take my Fluix, wherever that happens to be, and throw it on a drying rack. And there we go. I now have all the pure Fluix crystals I need to get started. And I'm ready to throw them all into my little setup that I have over here. Let's go. And actually, yeah, that 20 minutes, well, I was just sitting there waiting, watching an episode of Voltron. Everything's all good. But yeah, I have all of these stuff set up in order to make the inscribers. I need a regular inscriber first before I can make the advanced inscribers, mainly because they require engineering processors. So I got to make the engineering processor first using my one regular inscriber before I can make advanced inscribers. But that's no problem whatsoever. Throw our pure Fluix in here, and that should go through pretty quickly. Yeah, look at that, 22 Fluix blocks. Very nice. And yeah, I'm going to go set all of this up and then find a place to put all of this. I don't even know where I'm going to put it yet. So I'm ready to make my 6 crystal growth accelerators, and before I do, I just checked the default recipe, and this is the default recipe with the exception of the compressed iron being swapped out for regular iron, and I do not recall making Fluix blocks ever. Maybe because Fluix blocks are usually just 4 Fluix crystals in a 2x2, and I may have just autopiloted it, but because I actually had to think about it, yeah, I'm just not recalling the Fluix block whatsoever. But now I have all 6 of these. That quest should be complete. And I can also make my 1 inscriber. So actually, I'm just going to make all 5. In order to make the advanced inscriber, I'm going to need those processors, like I said, and I already have the hoppers. So yeah, this recipe is just about ready to go. I'm going to set up these engineering processors right quick. You know what? Never mind that. Because it wasn't on the quest page, and I've been following the quest page pretty closely, I just noticed that it hasn't had me make the AE2 power yet. So yeah, just one more thing that I'm going to have to create. Alright, so I had to make a pulverizer from thermal expansion, and I didn't want to do anything thermal for a while. But yeah, I was forced to because the grindstone has been removed from this pack. So yeah, I made the pulverizer. It's basic. It didn't complete the quest, but whatever, that's fine. But now I have an energy cell, and I have an energy acceptor. I'm going to move over to the area I decided to put all of my AE2 stuff. And I'm also sieving up some more dust, because I used all my skystone to crush it up in a sieve, and yeah, get all of this stuff. So I need a little bit more. Oh yeah, it's all over in this crate now. Oh, that is not enough skystone dust. So I'm going to have to sieve up a lot more dust in order to make the amount of skystone I need to make an ME controller. So here's my setup as it stands right now. I have a cyclic energy cable coming from the solar panel into the energy acceptor, to the energy cell, to the ME controller. And then whenever I run out of power and it just happens to be nighttime or a blood moon, my vibration chamber will take over the power duties. So the vibration chamber doesn't produce very much power. I think it's a maximum of like 10 AE per tick. But for the purposes that I'm using it at, mainly powering this inscriber right now, yeah, it definitely suffices. I'll upgrade it to something else for power generation a little bit later, because solar panels obviously aren't going to work during the nighttime. But I am ready to upgrade my inscriber to the advanced inscriber. May as well just get rid of these. Here we go. And move over to our crafting table. So at our crafting table, we're just going to add this last inscriber. I'm going to make 5 advanced inscribers. 1 for each of the pressed parts, and then another just to make the processors. What I'm also going to do while I'm here is put this here, 4 compressed iron and 4 glass. I'm going to make the matter condenser. It's one of the quests I have to do anyway, and I want to explain something about the matter condenser. I'm also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 glass cables and 2 processors. I'm also going to make my ME drive while I'm here. And I already have everything set up to make a crystal growth chamber. I'm only going to make 1 because, quite frankly, I don't use it very often. And it has more than enough space to install everything I possibly need. Here we go, place it right there. Yeah, it has more than enough space that I can just throw any of the seeds I need, and yeah, the crystal growth chamber will do its thing. Another thing that I have to do is I have to make my panels, well, my terminals, and that's going to require the use of Certus, flux ducts, and logic processors. So I'm going to make formation cores, 16 of them. I'm also going to make some annihilation cores. I'm going to need these combined with the illuminated panel to make my ME terminal. So here we go, ME terminal, and combine that to make my crafting terminal. Here we go. So now I am, well, actually, yeah, I'm ready to go. I can actually start putting stuff inside my ME system. I'm just going to need 1 Fluix glass, and I'm going to grab a couple of these 64s. And here we are, the full basic setup. So I'm obviously going to be throwing in everything from my void ore miners. That is the only thing that will be going in this particular ME section. I'm going to have multiple AE2 systems scattered throughout the base because running that many cables is a little bit difficult. The reason why I made this matter condenser is because I require it to make singularities. Singularities are going to, oh, of course it's not going to show me the recipe, but singularities will help me make quantum entangled singularities, which will help me make quantum rings. Quantum rings will allow me to, sorry about that, work beckons. But yeah, the quantum singularities will help me link up all of my multiple ME systems that I'll have throughout the base. But this particular one is only going to be for my void ore miners. It will be tied into pulvises and furnaces eventually, and it will just handle all of my ore processing, and that's it. But like the reason why I made the matter condenser is I actually wanted to go over how it worked. So you see, I just placed it down, and by default, it is in destroy item mode. It just acts as a trash can. So yeah, you can throw in whatever you want in this slot, and it will immediately destroy it. There's also condense into matter balls, 256 per item, or condense into that singularity I was talking about with 256,000 64K ME storage cells. For the matter balls, I can throw in any storage component I want. For the singularity, it's 256,000 64K. Yeah, that's expensive. That is very expensive. So yeah, we're not there yet. It's just something to think about for the future. Also, in the quest progression here, this tiny TNT, I didn't think about it before, but tiny TNT I could have used in place of the regular TNT, and it's also cheaper considering gunpowder is at a premium. So yeah, just showing you how to make the tiny TNT. All you need is 2 gunpowder and 2 nether quartz powder. Where is my nether quartz powder? Right here. Put them like so, and they will make some tiny TNT. So tiny TNT acts, it's just a much smaller explosion. In the configuration files for AE2, you can actually disable whether or not this will do griefing by default. And the fact that this wasn't one of the first things in this quest progression is odd to me, because obviously I could have used it could have hinted me or pushed me towards the tiny TNT to make the compressed iron needed for everything else. But anyway, yeah, this tiny TNT does work for making compressed iron, and obviously it's needed for the quantum entangled singularities. But we are done with AE2 for now, and the next thing we're going to move on to is Construct's Armory, because I need to make myself some dang armor, because I'm going to go into the hunting dimension. The reason why I'm going to go into the hunting dimension is because I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I need canola seeds. So I had a creative world, And looking through the creative world, the canola plants are there. So I have to get my canola seeds by going to the hunting dimension, since breaking grass obviously didn't work. So yeah, I'm going to make myself some armor, but first let's complete all of these quests. Alright, nothing really, oh, it actually gave me some hardened fluid ducts. Nothing really out of the ordinary, although I am going to eat this heart container. There we go. Alright, so I got another heart, and we'll just throw all of the rest of this in here. Ooh, ender pouch, that's real nice. Also, one of the quest rewards that I got earlier when I completed the slew of the AE2 quests, I'm not seeing it anymore. Okay, that's very weird. It actually gave me the Inferium Sickle, and I don't have it anymore. Why don't I have it anymore? Alright, this is very weird to me, and is getting kind of infuriating. All throughout this pack, random items have been disappearing from my inventory and from my chests. I don't know why. But I definitely had the Inferium Sickle. It was definitely given to me as a quest reward, but it is not in my quest reward chest anymore. Oh, that's terrible. But, alright, moving on. I may not have to get into Construct Armory. I have these corrupted glitch hearts, also from quest rewards, and if I crush them against a piece of obsidian, then I am going to get 3 corrupted glitch powders. And using those, I can actually make myself a pair of armor that has flight, which is a boon to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this piece of obsidian, and I am going to left-click the glitch hearts. There we go. Alright, left-click the glitch hearts against the obsidian, and I have the unstable glitch fragments. Combine that with lapis and gold in a body of water, and they should make me the ingots I need to create the armor. Now, I have very little experience with deep mob learning, so I do not know if this is going to create an explosion, or if it's going to hurt me. The fact that it says unstable reminds me of the unstable ingots, so yeah, let's try this out. Gold and lapis. Oh, that is beautiful. Alright, so I have 24 ingots, which means I can make the full set of armor. Nice. And here are the boots. So you see that the armor on them is not very good. However, they do, oh, let's take this off. They do offer me creative level flight. And going to the hunting dimension, that's definitely going to be something I care about, especially since the hunting dimension is all dark all the time. And yeah, mobs are, I forget what it is by default, but it's like 2.5 times more enemy spawns. So yeah, creative flight. Happy that I have that now. Now, the hunting dimension cake is easy enough to make. You just have to make 4 swords. I already have cake from the quest rewards, arrows from killing some skeletons that appeared on this platform before I lit it up, and stone swords. Here we go, hunting dimension cake. I don't know where I really want the hunting dimension cake. We'll just put it here for now, and when you right click it, we transport it to the hunting dimension. Alright, in retrospect, this was a terrible idea because I don't have my night vision anymore. Yeah, we'll go down here. There we go. Alright, night vision. So, I can't fly anymore, unfortunately, because I don't have the glitch on. But, at the very least, we can see that the hunting dimension has actually been configured so that it is always jungle. It doesn't matter how far you travel, the hunting dimension will always be jungle, which once again increases the mob spawns and makes it a little harder to traverse if you don't have the creative flight. So I am going to run through here a little bit more, trying to find canola seeds. So I know it is kind of difficult to see, but I'm going to kill this cyber skeleton real quick. And hopefully, yes, it did. Awesome. Nope, it only gave me the riot shield. Dang it. So those cyber skeletons should have the ability to give me some of their parts. And if I have those parts, I can convert myself into a cyber. So, yeah, it's something that I have to plan for the future. But after I've been traveling around here for a while, I've only found 1 canola plant. But that was enough to give me 2 canola seeds, and 2 canola seeds is more than enough to continue. Going through here, yeah, this is just a typical jungle and a modded jungle, which means I'm going to find marshy and tropical hives all over the place. Charged creepers? Yeah, charged creepers do spawn here normally, so you got to be careful with that. Thank goodness I have flight. But there's also some forestry trees scattered around, like this one right here. What is this, date palm? Amaranth, okay. So, oh, there's a date palm over there. But yeah, other than that, I am done with the hunting dimension for now, and I'm sorry that it is so dark. That's why I haven't really been recording here. But in order to get back, all you have to do is just complete the hunting dimension cake quest, and you get the overworld cake. And I'm going to create a waypoint right here. Place down my cake and go back to the overworld. So it'll spawn me right exactly back where my cake is, so it doesn't matter how far I travel, I will always spawn at the cake I used to get to the dimension in the first place. Now we're going to create our next cake, which is the Nether Cake. I require some obsidian large plates for that. You can also use regular obsidian plates, but well, the industrial craft ones, but it requires a compactor with this crystallized obsidian, and yeah, I need to go to the end for that, so not yet. There's also other ways you can get it too, right? Yeah, just obsidian and an IC2 block cutting machine, but whatever. Ooh, obsidian dust. I did not see that one. I'm not getting into industrial craft anytime soon, so I'm not really worried about it. I have the plates I need, which means we can make our cake. Here we are, Nether Cake. Now, I did not explain this earlier with the hunting dimension cake, but if I set this down, you see that I have 6 bites left out of this. Oh, wait a minute. Is it not taking away the cake? Oh, apparently it's not. But yeah, I'm loading into the Nether right now. The reason why I want to go into the Nether is because in between episodes, ooh, what a weird spawn. Huh. But in between episodes, I'm oh my word. The Grue is in this pack. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. The Grue freaks me out, so yeah, I gotta be careful. Alright, sorry about that. I went back to the overworld by completing the Nether Cake quest. It gave me another overworld cake, so that's no problem. But as I was saying, usually whenever you take a bite out of the cake, then it removes one of the slices, just like a normal cake. You'd have to create another Nether Cake in order to restore the slices to it, and that does not seem to be enabled in this pack, so that's good. I grabbed some torches because I'm going to go back into the Nether and hopefully not get eaten by the Grue. The Grue is absolutely terrible, and I'm really glad that it doesn't exist in I'm really glad that it doesn't exist in the overworld, or maybe it does. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been in an area that's been pitch black before. But regardless, yeah, the Grue is terrible. If you don't light up the area you are in, it will come for you and it will kill you, like, immediately. It's been a while since I've been in a pack with the Grue, so I can't recall whether or not it's that or the Beast in the Deep Dark. There's a Beast in the Deep Dark as well. One of those is unkillable, and I cannot remember which one. So yeah, I'm going back to the Nether, and I'm just going to torch the place up. I have a problem. When I used my overworld cake to get back to the overworld, I put the cake right here. When I spawned back into the Nether, I of course was going to go right back to my overworld cake, and this obsidian platform completely deleted it. So I don't have a way back. I need to make an overworld cake. Well, at the very least, I am back home. I used the /spawn command. Yeah, so the /spawn command, unfortunately, actually put me at the world spawn. And world spawn is all the way over here. So I had to fly all the way back home. And oh, thank goodness I gave myself creative flight in this episode. But yeah, I am going to close out this episode because I have just I've been flubbing up too much. I need a rest. So yeah, in between episodes, I am going to go back to the Nether, light everything up, find another pardon me, hiccup. Find another fortress and get some blaze rods. I need a lot of ender chests if I'm going to do what I'm planning on doing. for my AE2 system. So what I am going to do is I'm going to replace these storage crates with ender chests, the same color ender chests, and they're going to import directly into my ME drives. From there, what they're going to do is I'm going to replace these with import buses, and it's going to import all of the appropriate ore into here, and then I'm going to have some crusher assemblies as well for all of the other extraneous stuff. Not all of these can go into crushers and pulverizers, but yeah, like the energized netherrack. Yeah, it can go in a pulverizer. Cool. One of them could not. Regardless, we'll figure it out. We'll get everything sorted, and that's actually going to be next episode. That's why I need to spend time in the nether getting those blaze rods. But yeah, I am Kelly Engineering, and I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.